Let's go over to another Big 12 game that was a 3-point game, too. In number 25, BYU beating Colorado late last night, 24-21. Let's go over the highest graded player, starting off with the BYU Cougars. Highest graded player for them was tight end Carson Ryan, 76.9. Isaiah Glasker, the linebacker, 75. Evan Johnson, the corner, 72.8. LJ Martin, the running back, 72.6. Falatau Satuala, the safety, 71.9, and Bear Bachmeier with a 68.1 grade in the win for BYU. Now, Colorado, their highest graded player was D-tackle Tavian Coleman, 75.3. Offensive tackle Jordan Seaton, 71.8. Offensive guard Xavier Hill, 71.7. Carter Stoutmeyer, the safety, 71.7 as well. Micah Welch, the running back, 70.9, and Caden Salter with a 59.2 grade at quarterback. Dalton, what told the story in this game?
Yeah, I think at this point, obviously they're 2-3, and it's been struggling. They've lost to all three Power 4 opponents that they've played. I think we're at the point where we can just make the statement that for 60 minutes of a ball game, Colorado's offense is just not going to figure it out. I think the quarterback situation especially is really hurting them. And you look at this game, first two drives, it came out on fire. They scored on the first two drives up. They were up 14-0 early. 15 plays, 10 runs, and 5 passes. I thought Pat Shurmur, the first two drives, I was telling you as the game was starting, we were watching the end of the other big games, I was like, hey, Pat Shurmur's got it rolling today. There's RPOs. We're getting east and west in the run game. Micah Welch is rolling. There's read options. I really like what this looks like. And after the first two drives, it just stalled out. It just completely stalled out. 9 yards of play on the first two drives. The rest of the game, they were under 4 yards of play. 38 plays, 149 yards, minus .350 EPA per play. They got the one touchdown, good touchdown drive in the third quarter. They responded to BYU score, and they went up 21-17. But it's just not – it's not there. The consistency is just not there. I like the way that they started this game, and those are some of the schemes with the East and West and RPO and play action and things like that you really – I wish they would have kind of worked on maybe more in the summer and really prepared Caden Salter for a more consistent offense like that. But once they ran out of answers after think about it. Think of what I would have just said, the first 15 plays. 2 touchdowns on 2 drives, right? Get past that first 15. They always talk about first 15 is those scripted plays. The first 15 was great. The rest of it, back to the same old. I just think this Colorado offense, and then when it came to the end of the game and Salter needing to execute for them down the stretch, just certain times, he took at the end of the first half, I believe it was, he took a sack that took him out of field goal range. There was I believe 3rd and 3 in the third or fourth quarter. I think it was early in the fourth quarter. It was a 3rd and 3 where he took a 22-yard sack and just completely, even if they weren't going to get the first down, ruined the field position. Obviously, the interception at the end, there just isn't a consistent flow to this offense.
Yeah. And
BYU, they battled back. They made stops because they believed they could make stops against an offense. Okay, we weathered the storm. Yes, it's 14-0 and 14-3, and we got a true freshman quarterback who played pretty well in this game, but at the end of the day, I just don't think for 60 minutes Colorado's offense gives them. And the craziest part is it's everybody but the offensive line. We'll say this again. Their offensive line was terrific. Jordan Seaton and those guys.
Oh, they had like a 90 pass blocking grade,
They're
right?
one of the best pass protectors. Jordan Seaton is still the country's highest graded pass blocker.
He's a stud.
It's everything but their offensive line now. They can block people. It's just the schemes and the execution from the quarterback, and just – It's just not. It feels like there are not going to be many games, if any, where they get 60 minutes of execution from their offense.
It also doesn't help when you're jostling your quarterback every other week. Caden Salter starts 2 weeks, then you got Ryan Stott for 1 week, then back to Salter. It's like every time these guys are looking over their shoulder. Listen, Salter's not playing well. I'm not saying that either, but it doesn't help when every single game is like, okay, who's starting our quarterback this week? It doesn't help. It doesn't help the offense get into rhythm at all either. And my stat that told the story is EPA pass splits. BYU 0.348, Colorado negative 0.358 in this game. And we said in the preview, look, Salter played great against Wyoming. And we said, oh, maybe he finally turned the corner in this game. He didn't, because he had a 45 passing grade, 11 for 16 for a $119, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 0 big-time throws, 1 turnover-worthy play, only a 63.8 passing grade when kept clean. That's a really, really bad mark. You should be like in the 80s when you're kept clean too. Colorado, 95.1 pass blocking grade as a team in this game. And then Bear Bachmeier, who shot him out here too, Dalton, 64.5 passing grade. Yeah, not great, but also a lot like other quarterbacks to talk about. He understood, like Luke Altmaier, he understood the assignment of this ball game. 123 of his 180 passing yards came after the catch. He did not throw an interception. He had 2 touchdown passes too. Barrett Bachmeier did not try to be a hero in this ball game. He knew, hey, I have the team that can win this game if I just play complimentary football. That's exactly what he did, and that's why you want to shout him out here, Dalton.
Right now, as a true freshman quarterback, he perfectly fits BYU's identity. I thought Aaron Roderick called a great game for him. I have Bachmeier down as my most impressive, and look, it's not going to be because of the grading or anything flashy, but I just thought the moments that he needed to be solid and needed to move this team forward, and you mentioned it, keep them out of negative plays, no turnover-worthy plays. There was nothing even close to a turnover. Actually, there was one fumble. He did fumble as a runner in this game. Yeah. As a passer, I thought he was terrific. He ran for 97 yards, 5 explosive runs, 5 first downs. I think this was a really, I think, just great, even in a win. I think a great teaching moment for Bear Bachmeier in his first game against a Power 4 team, right? In his first big road test at Colorado. I think you're talking about a kid who really, he grew up a little bit.
Well, they beat Stanford, by the way.
Sorry, they beat Stanford. Of course, they beat Stanford where he came from. I forgot about the Stanford game, but that was a dominant effort. This was the first, and I think the East Carolina game a little bit too early, but the defense took that game over. But this was really the first true test to me of, okay, you got punched in the mouth. This team was down 14-0. Colorado was rolling. Pat Shurmur had the play calls going. And Bachmeier, Aaron Roderick, Kalani Sitake, they kept their cool. They played their brand of football. They only gave up 7 points the rest of the way. And I was just so impressed with Bachmeier playing mostly mistake-free football. That's what got him back in this game.
When you're down by 14 in that environment too, a true freshman might say, okay, I got to bring us back now. I got to be a hero now and commit turnover plays. He just stayed cool, calm, and collected, man. A lot like Dante Moore in the Oregon-Penn State game. Luke Altmaier too. Just so many quarterbacks, but really Bear Bachmeier just staying cool in that moment, down 14 on the road in Colorado in a very loud stadium. I was very impressed by him, too.
I think Aaron Roderick needs a lot of credit for this effort here because there was a lot of play calls in this game. There was some screen game going. I thought the first touchdown where he just caught an isolated whip route where Bachmeier could sprint out and there's no read or nothing, man. He's going to win man-to-man. Just make the throw, and that's exactly what happened. I thought that was a great example. There was a couple others where it was, he's doing what Roderick's telling him to do, but he's a true freshman. He's a young kid, right? And he just transferred there in the spring also. He didn't even have spring ball with them. He was at Stanford. So the way that Sitake managed the game, the way that Aaron Roderick called the game on offense, and the way Bachmeier played mistake-free football throughout the night, fantastic stuff. And I think you mentioned it, complimentary football more than any individual player or unit on this team. That's the best part of BYU's football team, and that's why even in losses, eventually when they lose a game or two here, they're going to be right in it because they just know how to play as a team, as one unit, the entire football team. It was great to see them come back in this game the way they did after getting punched in the teeth early.
Bear Bachmeier did not need to be a hero in this game because he knew another guy on the other side of the ball, Isaiah Glasker, would be the hero for them in this game. What a player BYU has at linebacker and Isaiah Glasker. This guy is a stud, man. 75 PFF grade, 1 run defense stop. He had 2 pressures and a sack in this game, a forced incompletion, and of course, the game-sealing interception at the very end, too. He was a top 15 linebacker for me entering the year. He wasn't in my top 10. I might regret that right now because he has been phenomenal for BYU this season. 85.1 PFF grade on the season. That's 10th in the country. He is a freak athlete. I think he's like 6'5" at linebacker, too.
I got him at 6'5", 240.
Yeah, great size, elite athlete. His gas score is always very high in our system, too. This is a legitimate NFL prospect right now. You got to get eyes on him because he is a stud at linebacker right now, and he is a legit Butkus Award candidate right now, too.
Absolutely, and I think, maybe he won't because Anthony Hill's going to be up there. Torian York's going to be up there as far as LB1 for the draft. Anthony Hill also very well built at 6'3", 240. But I might tell you, if someone were to ask me who's the closest linebacker to Jihad Campbell,
it's
Isaiah Glasker. The size, the ability to play off the edge, too. He's got a 92 pass rush grade this year.
The speed, dude.
70
crazy.
coverage grade, 72 run D grade. The speed, I mean, the ability at his size to make that interception when Salter's rolling out, and he's incredibly dangerous out on the edge, rolling out, throwing, rolling to his right. And for him to make that play to seal this game, Isaiah Glasker is absolutely a star and a guy you're going to hear his name for a long time. He's a freak of nature at 6'5" and 240. And honestly, would it shock me if a team wanted to say, hey, 15 more pounds, put him on the edge? It wouldn't shock me, but the way he runs in space, man, leave him at linebacker because he's a freak.
He is a freak, and it's awesome that we finally have, it feels like a great linebacker class in 2026, too. It feels like we've had like a down year the last few years at linebacker, and now we have an unreal linebacker
We got some darn good ones. The athletes are getting better, and that's what needs to happen at that position.
Absolutely. Yeah, so BYU beating Colorado 24-21.